All right, so today we're going to be talking about the Parallel Data Warehouse, which is Microsoft's MPP, multi-parallel processing appliance offering. Now, I will go ahead and apologize. All the link animations and stuff came from Microsoft sales, so I kind of tweaked a little bit. So what we're looking at is the general kind of overview of what a parallel data warehouse looks like. And we're going to go down each kind of piece. So there are control nodes, there's a management node, a landing zone, a backup node. You have compute nodes and storage nodes. And we're going to talk about what each piece does, but basically you throw all this stuff together and it just makes one bad mamma jamma, which the sales guys at Microsoft probably are shaking their heads at that terminology. So to make them happy, we have this sales slide. So it's your Tier 1 Enterprise Data Warehouse Appliance offering. That is a mouthful. So basically, if your enterprise today has got data warehouses that are just growing, huge amounts of data, your current offering, you know, if you have a single SQL server that's trying to handle this stuff, it's pretty tough to manage that. And you know, your storage solutions, you know, you can add more storage, but is that adding to your performance? You can throw more processors, but is that really doing anything? What the appliance offering gives you is it gives you a balanced solution that is geared towards just pure nasty speed, which is really cool. Flexibility and choice, blah blah blah. Parallel data warehouse. It's got multiple vendors. HP and Dell both have their own PDW offerings. Dell just came on board recently with their offering. Yeah, and because it's Microsoft, it's got integration with the Microsoft BI stack, which is really nice because now you can take this huge amount of data and use the tools that you know and love, like Excel, Power Pivot, reporting services, Power View. You can use that against your huge data that you may or may not have been able to kind of explore before just because of the pure volume involved with it. You know, if you've got a petabyte worth of data that you're trying to sort through, you know, it could take days to come back with a simple query trying to figure out, what's going on in your data. So this thing's a nice marriage of everything that they offer. All right, so that being said, let's get into the bits and pieces of Parallel Data Warehouse. And the first piece that we're going to talk about is the control node. Now, the control node in this whole scenario is kind of like the boss. Now, why do I put that there? It's because everybody reports to the boss. You've got these different nodes that actually do your work, your compute nodes, and they take their results, give it to the boss, and then the boss reports it to you. You're the big boss. Eventually, all the data comes back to you, but this guy's kind of like your middle management, that he collects all the data from his workers, piles it together, and then he gives it back to you. So how does that work? So all the client connections in a PDW architecture go through the control node, right? So you actually perform your queries from this guy. You don't use Management Studio today. They're still working on that. Instead, you're using a third-party tool called Nexus. And Nexus is kind of like Management Studio, but a little bit different. So you use that to throw your queries, and inside the control node, it's got the secret sauce for PDW, so to speak, because SQL Server natively doesn't do what PDW is trying to do, but the technology that came over from Data Allegro, which is the company that originally developed these technologies, this MPP technology, and Microsoft bought them, and now it's PDW. So the secret sauce is in the control node, and it knows, okay, if I send this query, it's got to be distributed amongst my nodes, take your data, break it up, compile it together, and then report back. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. Just processes the SQL requests that are sent out. Now, because it's an appliance, the way that updates get rolled out to this guy, they have what are called appliance updates, or AU, if you've ever heard anybody talk about PDW, appliance updates. With the latest appliance update, update 3, they introduced the cost-based optimizer into it. PDW didn't have the cost-based optimizer before, but with the newest update, now it's a cost-based optimizer just like the SQL Server that we know today. Now, the cost-based optimizer needs statistics, right? That's how the whole thing works. And that's how it figures out what the best execution plan is and the fastest way to get to your data. Now, in AU3, the control node, how it gets this is when you send your query, it sends it out to the control nodes, and the control nodes sent back empty objects of what you asked for. And it contains the statistics but no user data. And the control node parses through those statistics, comes up with the best plan, and then executes your plan from there. Sounds a little crazy, but trust me, it works really well. Excuse me. So basically, sends it out, aggregates the results together at the control node, and it sends you back the results you're looking for. Now, the drivers that are used in this are provided by DataDirect. You have ODBC, OLADB, ADO.NET. ODBC is probably going to get the first-class treatment since Microsoft is moving more towards ODBC connectivity rather than OLADB, so watch for that. Wire protocols and the drivers are available both in 32 and 64-bit flavors. So next we have what's called the management node. Now this one's a little bit different. I said the control node was the boss, but this one's called the management node, so it's a look what's going on. Well, the management node is actually, it manages all the different servers that are in the box because this appliance itself is a self-contained Windows domain. So this management node actually contains a domain controller and a whole Active Directory setup. Now, if there's any sysadmins on the line today, you may be wondering, well, you know, how's that play with my environment? How do I deal with another domain that's in my environment? This domain you don't ever directly interact with, so you don't have to worry. It's completely contained. It's just simply used for the management of the appliance itself.